to 500 Doors, your real estate podcast. Speaking with industry experts in real estate buying, selling, planning, developing, wholesaling, investing, financing, and management. If it's real estate, we're talking about it. I'm your host, Kim Hayden, an award-winning 6- and 7-figure real estate agent with over 2 decades of experience. Understanding real estate is a dream for many, that we, real estate professionals, have the ability to bring that dream to reality while building better communities and being the change we want to see. Alrighty. Welcome back to 500 Doors. I'm excited because today I'm going to have somebody from my old stomping grounds. If you don't know my backstory, I'll give it to you the Cliff Notes here, or Blink List if that's you're reading on Blinkist there. Lived in Vegas. I lived in Vegas. I was a waitress at the Creep Cafe in the soon-to-be brought down Mirage. And I was kind of sad when I saw that. So I'm excited because we're going to get both Phoenix, where every Canadian knows where Phoenix is, and everybody's fascinated by Las Vegas. So you've got a couple pretty hot markets. Welcome to the show, Janelle.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Nice to meet you.
Back at you. We're going to have Janelle's photos and such, but you've got to check out the photo. You've got the cutest pair of red velvet mules on in your picture. Your shoes are awesome. What a great photo.
Yeah, thank you.
Shows that you have good taste, and to be in real estate, you kind of have to have good taste or a way to bring it all together, you know?
We try.
What I'd love for you to do, Janelle, is to first share with us a bit of your backstory, because I find that the successful agents, the long career agents, tend to have somewhere in their origin story. When they were 8 years old, they moved across country with mom and dad and adopted 8 cats. So there's something in this backstory that will lead us to why you've chosen to do real estate, because real estate's not easy. Even though my husband said I should go into real estate because it looked easy, it's not. But I'd love to know your backstory. Who is Janelle?
Wow. Who is Janelle? Wow. I actually fell into real estate quite by accident. I was an educator with a master's in counseling, and I had a really, really, really rough principal one year. And my ex-husband, my only husband at the time's like, he's in lending. He's like, why don't you be a realtor? And in my mind, I was like, real estate's a salesperson and salespeople are. But anyway, so I went to school, passed everything, and got hired on. And it was in 2004 when the market in Phoenix just was going, whew. So I got my training in classrooms, but also on the job, going against agents who were just amazing, knew how to waive an appraisal. I was like, what's an appraisal? But anyway, learned a lot. And then the market crashed, and I had 2 choices. It was either keep working and use my brain and listen to those around me, or go back into teaching. And I said, I'm in this to win it. So I just listened, put my nose to the grindstone, learned how to really be a good marketer, stay in front of my people. And then I learned how to do short sales, and I became a short sale queen. And that kept me through the rough times, right?
Yeah.
So it was a lot.
And we may be seeing some of that like coming back in the front because of the interest rates. That's impacting people in just the affordability and what they're in. It's interesting that you come from an education background, because I have found over the years some of the best and most consistent real estate agents have either education or they're a former nurse. Some of the best agents I've met were not salespeople, because I think that is a misnomer about real estate. Real estate really is not a sales job. It is more probably in line with the counseling side of things than an appliance sales. So, what do you think, in knowing now getting that background, what do you think is your unique selling position? What is it that you think you're bringing to the table that has contributed to your longevity in real estate? Knowing that 87% of people are not in after the first 36 months.
Mhm.
Um, what do you think is your unique selling position?
Probably what I would attribute a lot of my continued ability to be successful is I want to always keep learning. I don't know everything. Knowledge is power. And I listen. I listen to people's needs. And then I continue to, I have a GRI, which is Graduate of Realtor Institute, best knowledge I think that a realtor could get. I got that. And I just lean on knowledge and knowing who to go to when I don't know something because I don't know everything. And I just think that's probably what sets me a little bit apart from a lot of other agents, maybe, is that I want to keep learning and growing because it's an ever changing market, especially the past 6 months. If we think that real estate is easy, it is so not easy, but I love it. And I think I also share a big passion. I just want people happy and I want them to walk into their home and say, wow, I did this. I worked hard. I got this home. And I've only had one person of all the people I've sold houses to in 20 years that told me, I don't like my house. That broke my heart because I thought it was a great house. But that only one time. So when I'm working with my clients and they're getting discouraged because we're looking at 15, 20 houses, which that's way too many to look at. But if we do that, and I keep telling them, you're going to get the house that you're meant to have. And nobody has ever disputed that. So anyway.
Isn't it funny how that shows that you really do care? Because in 1,500 transactions, I can say that I only had one house that has ever caused me issues. And I just felt it in my gut because it did not leave a good taste with the client. I felt so bad around it. I mean, I wasn't at fault anywhere. Like there was nothing like that. It's just it holds with you. Somebody
Mhm.
who I found that interesting that you mentioned that because I have one myself and it's from like I think like 9 years ago. And I did all due diligence and there was an issue with the home after they took possession. I was able to work with them and help them get through the structural issue. But it's always sat there and said, this was such an amazing moment because we get to be part of that that excitement, that moment of excitement, and
Yeah, it's fun.
yeah, yeah, I it is. It's such a blessing to be able to be part of people's legacy journey, and
Mhm.
that's really what real estate is. It's part of their memory. It's part of their life cycle. It's part of their financial legacy. When you're looking at everything you're doing, so you serve both Las Vegas and Phoenix. So first tell me how
Correct.
that works for you. They're what, about 4 hours apart?
Four if I'm going really fast.
Yeah.
But that's,
We
yeah,
will
we
not let
don't
any
talk about that.
need watch this. That's all right. I interviewed, and I think his episode just came out. Oh no, it's coming out in a couple of weeks. Rick Ott is a middle central Texas broker owner agent. And he talks about, this one highway, 80 miles an hour. So you can just get in and it's like,
Yeah.
woo, all right.
I know they'll be watching for me when I'm going like this through WikiUp. Oh my goodness.
So
I've
tell
got
me
it
how you
down.
navigate that though. And
Um,
what
it's
where is that at within your career cycle? Like, is that somewhere you're going to be at long term? Does it give you
That's a
great
good
weekend
question.
away?
It's interesting because real quick, how I ended up doing that was my two youngest of four kids, been a single mom a long time. They were both dancers at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, the Rebel Girls and Company. That turned into my community when I was there being a dance mom. But I needed in-state tuition. So I'm sitting there after 14 years into my career going, oh man, I could sell houses here, get a second home, and get in-state tuition. So I put the plan in action and I did it. And then I got over there and I'm like, I don't know anybody, but that worked itself out. But so the goal was to go back and forth. I had a couple of guys here in Phoenix that were helping me with my Phoenix people. And then I was working Vegas and then the pandemic hit. So I was pretty much there. And so a lot of my Phoenix business, because people were loyal to me, and I'm just so thankful for and blessed with that, that they would call and then I'd do what I could do on the computer, connect them with my partner, and then he'd handle it. So it worked. And now I have this amazing little grandson, and my two daughters have graduated. I still have a dancer at the professional level in Vegas still, but I have three kids in Phoenix and one here and the grandson. So I flipped my switch. I'm back sitting in Phoenix, working my market here and massaging all my clients in Vegas because I have an amazing partner over there. So I do go back and forth. I've flown a lot, but it takes just as long to go to the airport, sit and wait and fly. Then I can hop in my car and drive really fast and get there. So it's working. If I had a client that said, I need to see you, I would say, give me, till tomorrow or 6 hours or whatever, and I'll be there because my clients mean that much to me. So it works. It's
It
a fun
works.
world and it works.
Excellent. I'll tell you, you must work with a lot of Canadians because almost every Canadian over 55 I know is in Phoenix or Vegas, at least from Calgary
Mhm.
area, right? So
Mhm.
because I'm in Alberta and it's bloody cold here, so I may be down there. I may be knocking on you. Do you have a spare bed? I'm just
I
looking. Just
I do.
ooh, you get roomy from January. It'll be crazy times, folks. Crazy times. Look at
Yeah.
Janelle's online and just peg your time. Come visit with us. But yeah, I've always found that fascinating working multiple markets. So you have to be really competent in your tracking your systems and procedures, really knowing exactly where every person is within their home ownership cycle, um, because if you're just a salesperson per se, and you're just literally fly by at the seat of your pants, I don't see how you could keep that momentum going in two different markets. I mean, I'm here in Calgary, and I didn't even want to drive 45 minutes to the other end of the city, right? I worked one area. I was very spoiled. Um, so that's going to be fascinating to watch because I think a lot of people are looking at how can they leverage their real estate or their previous position, their expertise. I've seen a lot of women over the age of 45 resign from corporate America, and they're looking for new opportunities. And what is the stats? I think it's something like 56% of licensed real estate agents are female, and the average age is 52. I think that was the last stat
No.
a few years ago. And a lot of those women are coming with this huge wealth of knowledge, like you've mentioned, that constantly learning, always be learning. Um, when we're looking at everything, is there in one of your two markets, is there like a hidden gem that you think doesn't get enough recognition or it's just a quirky or funny thing to do?
Hmm. Well, I found in Vegas, because everything was new to me over there. And then again, everything kind of shut down. So we had to start over. But everybody thinks Vegas is just the strip, and it is so much more than the strip. Downtown Summerlin turned into my favorite place to go. And there's a restaurant it's a wine bar restaurant called Grape Street. And I loved going there. And I had my little favorite little worker, what was his name? I don't Jared. That's his name. And he'd know what I'd want and blah, blah, but it's just a really cool little place to go. Over in
Very
Phoenix, I love the Joyride. It's down on Central. It's a Mexican restaurant. It's wonderful. Joyride has the best nachos ever. So
Ooh, does it have white queso? Does it have the white queso or is it
they
all the
do have I think they do have the white queso.
because
Yeah.
we don't have,
Yeah.
and I put this out on every show, and I host 4 different shows in 4 different companies, and so I put it out on every platform. We need more good Mexican in Calgary. Just saying, folks. I miss good Mexican food. I,
Yeah.
in Kansas, we had awesome Tex-Mex, right? I love good nachos, and don't yeah, nachos are nachos. They're not supposed to be like, I don't know, with truffles and stuff on it, right? That's just a personal opinion, but
Yeah.
I love white queso, and it's hard to find white queso anything north of like that, Nebraska north, when you're looking Midland across the United States, it's hard to find white
Funny.
queso with a little bit of green chili in it. Um, I right now, with the market being as, what's the way to put this? The market,
Weird.
yeah, it is. And we've had so many shifts, and there's a lot of people with a lot of questions. What would be your advice to home buyers or sellers right now, um, when they're looking at the volatility within the market?
Well, I would tell them what I honestly feel is that if you want to make a move, now is a great time. Waiting on the rates. I'm so tired of talking about rates. We've heard that now it's been over 2 years when the rates are bad, date the rate, marry the, what is it? Something like that. Marry the house, date the rate, whatever they used to say. But when rates change in both my markets, I expect the sales to go up and then the prices will go up. And we're seeing that already now. People are still paying top dollar. If you think that, oh, I'm going to go get a deal right now because the market's a little slower, no, no, because the sellers still want their top dollar. So yeah, I never like to answer that without some sort of a segue into it because I don't want to sound like I just want you to buy now. Because you know what? I have plenty of business. If you want to wait, you can wait. But then I may have to have another conversation with,
Yep.
hey, what you thought you were waiting for is gone.
Yeah.
You've missed you know how many people said 3 years ago, I'm going to wait. And then they waited till 2 years and the rates went up. I mean, it
Yeah.
happens. So if
And
you have a need to buy a house, there's never a better time than right now.
and I think that the people don't talk about the reason why the rates are where they are. And just so everybody knows, the rates are actually really good still. Though when I first got a house, my rate was 8% back in 1995. My parents' rates were at 18 and 19%. When you get stuff for free at 0%,
Mm-hmm.
think about this. When you give your teenager a free car, how well do they take care of it? How much do they value it? Whereas if they have to go in and pitch in and earn that, right? And we saw what free rates did to Japan. It flatlined their economy, and they have yet to be able to emerge out of it. They're talking close to 35 years since they flatlined their rates. So the reality is the rates right now in the States, I think, are globally very fair rates. And the reality is you got to pay to live somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So why
And
not
I
pay
really
yourself?
appreciate you saying that. Nobody else says that. So thank you for saying that.
You know what? It's.
Mm-hmm.
I just think a lot of people don't know, right? And a lot of the newer agents that have been in the business in the last like decade, or not even decade, like the last 5, 6 years, they've got all the technology. So it's all about transaction, transaction, transaction. They haven't actually researched the origin and history of the housing market. So one of the oldest traceable markets, I think, is out of Scotland. And it's like 400 years of property, registrations and such. And the average sustainable rate of increase of value is between half and 1%. That's a global. And so we watch these ups and downs. So going into a home that you love, understanding if you're borrowing money, there needs to be a cost to it. The bank needs to have money so they can actually invest elsewhere, right? So these are like, how do we build
Yeah.
our roads and stuff? Like all this works together, right? If you're getting everything for free, nothing's getting built. And we've kind of seen that over the last like 25, 30 years when we look at like infrastructure maintenance and such, right? That
Mhm.
hasn't been reinvested, right? We haven't been building schools at the rate that we built schools 30 or 40 years ago. And now it's all catching up to us because we wanted everything fast and free.
Yeah.
So I think working with seasoned professionals that take their position in the market as the key holders, as the people who help literally open up opportunity and take it seriously is so important. So
Yeah.
important. It's how we build a solid society. Now, what would be your one piece of advice? So we know that there is a lot of shift going on out there. People are getting, we have large corporations that are streamlining due to new technology. So those people are out looking for positions. So I'm going to go get my real estate license because selling sunset looks easy, blah, blah, blah. Um,
Love it.
poor Sally. Somewhere along the line, what's going to happen is somebody from Selling Sunset is going to hear because I throw them under the bus all the time. Sorry, guys. I'm sure you're lovely, and I'm sure you actually do stuff, but the real estate is not Selling Sunset, folks. Um,
That's so funny.
but I know I'm so bad. One day I'm going to get sued. I'm sure of it. On one of my other shows, I have to tell people if you're listening to this, please note that this is my personal opinion and does not reflect on on the company in general. I'm just a paid interviewer.
That's funny.
But what it would be your one piece of advice to these new agents coming out of school, and what's going to help them be part of the 13% that survives past the first 36 months?
Good advice coming out this mouth. Build the relationships with the people around you that you want to do business with. And then when you build the relationship, the money will follow. If you focus on, I got to make money, you're never going to get there. Learn that was one thing. I better be quiet now, but I have more. Learn as much as you can. Listen to people who have done it before you. Learn from the agents you're working with, the cooperating agent. Be nice, be friendly, learn. None of us knows everything. But my biggest thing is build the relationships. You'll get the business, the money follows. If you focus on that paycheck, if you're already looking at a piece of paper, oh, I'm going to go show this. Oh, we can't look at that anymore because it's gone. Thinking, oh, it's $500,000. That's $15,000. Oh, that was, don't worry about the money. The money will come when you build the relationship and put people in homes and make their lives better.
I said like a true pro. That is exactly. Quit chasing the transaction, start
Yeah.
investing in your communities. When I say the word
Yeah.
community, what does that word mean to you?
Um, I've had to learn to find a community wherever I am, right? I was a dance mom for years. So I was the dance mom community. I was a sports mom. So I was that community. I was always involved in my kids' schools. I didn't volunteer as much because I was a single working mom, but in terms of sponsorship of teams and stuff, I did that. Those were my communities. When I moved over to Vegas, I had the dance mom community again. And, always find somewhere to volunteer. I worked in the food bank and then the homeless shelter. And it's like, because my motto is everyone deserves, it's always ... because everyone deserves a home. Because we do, whether that home, and that's how I built my business. I don't care if you need a $25,000 piece of land sold or a multi-million-dollar property to buy. I don't care because everyone deserves a home. And, if I'm going to make this much money on this one and this much money on that one, it evens itself out. So, I've had people tell me, well, I'm not going to do that $200,000 listing or what. I will pick me because that 200,000 people, $200,000 is $1 million and I have 5 clients. So they're my friends. my clients I love. I just wish I had more time to enjoy with them. So as a newbie, learn as much as you can. I know a lot of the learning is online. I totally disagree with that, but I can't change the technology world. Learn from someone that's willing to share with you. And a lot of times it's a person on the other side of a transaction,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. And get
And
up there, actually
yeah,
meet the people you do a transaction
yeah.
with.
Oh, I know. I
I have to
know.
say, my son is just licensed in. So he's taking
Good.
over our team Hayden. He's picking up the gauntlet and he's going to run with
Good.
it. And just did his first transaction with as the lead on the team. And he's like, I'm going to go meet this agent. Yes, we can do direct deposit. Yes, we can do e-signatures and all of that. But he intentionally found a point where he could meet that agent and do a coffee. And it wasn't about recruiting them. It was just putting a face to the name and shaking their hand. And I
That's
think that we need to
powerful.
do more of that. We need to do
Yeah.
more of that. I do love the fact that you have volunteered and work. You mentioned volunteering. Not everybody mentions volunteering, and I think volunteering is absolutely critical. In the heyday of our real estate, we actually collected over 40,000 pounds of groceries through
Wow.
different events that we hosted for our community that then led to home sales. And I loved those $200,000 houses. That was my entire market, was serving, starter families and move up families. That was always my thing, because
Mhm.
they reflected where I was in life, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm doing all the senior stuff. It's not nearly as fun. I'm sorry, but funerals are not as fun as baby showers, no matter what.
Right. Right. I know.
And congratulations on your grandbaby.
Thank
That
you.
is so
It's
cool. I have
wonderful.
How old is he?
He just turned 1 on Tuesday.
Oh, very cool. Oh, very
He's
cool.
perfect. He loves
You
me
know what?
too.
If we could have grandchildren without raising the interim piece,
You know, and
I
I
have
think I was pretty lucky. My kids were not, thank God, they were just, I think because I was a single mom and they were so involved, there was no room to get into horrible trouble.
yeah,
Now, I'm sure they probably did things mom doesn't know about, and that's okay, right? I'm sure I did too. But thank God they're good kids. I actually had two as realtors, but neither one of them like it. So
yep,
it's like, it's not for everyone. And,
yep.
I don't know why I love it so much, but I do. So I'm
I
thankful
love
that I can do what I love.
the community aspect. I would
Yeah,
not have stayed in it and be licensed for a quarter century if not for the community aspect. And I love
yeah,
how you said build your community, get out and
yeah.
meet those people. Everybody talks about their pie and the spheres and this and that and stuff. And I'm I didn't have friends or family or anything to support me when I started in Calgary. I went out and built it, and I built it all
Right.
through creating community and doing nonprofit work and really getting out there. I love what you've
Caring about people, right?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
I am so grateful for your time today, Janelle. I'm
It's
so
been
glad that
great.
we were able to come together. Can you tell us where people can find you, follow you, engage with you?
Oh, you can find me. What are they? Janelle for Homes is pretty much the standard. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. What else am I on? Twitter, LinkedIn. It's all the Janelle for Homes. So my Facebook is Janelle Pittman Homes. Personal is Janelle Bender Pittman, but I don't care. Just Google me. I'm all over. But I'm so thankful to have been on here, Kim. So thanks for reaching out. And I'm a fan,
Absolutely.
so I'm looking forward to more watching and learning. So,
Absolutely. All righty, folks. You know what?
okay.
Like I said, we get the privilege and the honor of being part of other people's journeys, from the moment they get pregnant and have that first baby and go into the next home and to the point where you're in the business 20 years. And now you're seeing the flip side. Their kids are growing up and getting their own home. But the fact is we get to be the change. We hold more power in the communities that we build than even the local politicians. because we are the boots on the ground. We are the boots on the ground, and we can be the change. Thank you, Janelle.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too, my dear. Thank you for joining us at the 500 Doors Your Real Estate Podcast. Be sure to join our Facebook group at Real Estate Success with 500 Doors. Keep on watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share, because we all know sharing is caring.